alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillahi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Dear viewer, we welcome you to today's episode of the Alhidaayah show that comes to you every Thursday from 3 to 4 o'clock. Today is the 9th of May 2024. We want to thank you for all that you're doing and pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepts those that have had challenges in the week. We pray that Allah comforts you. Those that have lost their dear ones, we pray that Allah forgives them their shortcomings. Those that have issues that are challenging them, we pray that you persevere and pray to Allah for a way out of your challenge. My name is Muhammad Sekalala, your host for the show. And every Thursday we look at matters social life, what are those things that affect us as Muslims, as the community, as the population today. We told you that we are on the path, on the journey to having a stable and model Muslim home, one that should be the reason for the success of the rest of the people in the community. So it is our duty as Muslims to provide that good example that the rest of the people should see from, and then the communities should also get transformed in the best way. We have been looking at the aspect of what factors we are considering before we enter into the marriage institution, because marriage is the bedrock of the society, it's the foundation of the society. If we don't have strong and marriages built on clear foundations, then normally these are the challenges we are having today. So we have been looking at an aspect that has to do with marrying out of another social class. And last week we tried to explain what is social class in terms of understanding. It is the difference in the financial being of the prospective couples, the social class, the schools we go to, the universities we go to, and many other things as our guests told us then. To continue with this topic, inshallah, we have our guest that is routine. I think we are now very conversant with her and know her well. None other than Hajat Kachama Zaitun. I'm going to request her to say salam to the viewers to confirm that she's in the house. Yes.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Now, Hajat, last week we explained to the viewers what social class is, and if you don't mind, in about 1 minute, remind us when we talk about marrying from a different social class. In the past, we looked at very many aspects, but today we want to look at social class. What should the viewer, the one that is just joining us for the first time, know as regards social class? Yes.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Wa salatu wa salam ala Rasulillahi
Sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
We want to thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the gift of life. We shouldn't take that for granted, because being here last week and this week is not paid for. But we are grateful that Allah continues to give us these chances and blessings. We send peace and blessings to our Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. We want to apologize. I don't want to take it to take it for granted. We jumped off last week unexpectedly, but we are okay. There is no cause for alarm. We are okay and we are here. Social classes, I think these are normal things that happen to us, because the truth is we can never be equal. All of us come from different backgrounds. That is
yes.
one.
Okay.
You could be coming from a poor background or a wealthy background.
Okay.
You could be coming from a war zone, you know, a place of disruption.
Disruption, yes.
Because we can't forget to think about our sisters and brothers who are in war-torn areas.
Yes,
and somehow they've just maybe slipped away, and today they are refugees. That is a background, or that is a social a social class.
Okay.
We want to look at the education level.
Education level.
And background as well,
because
yes. The level is where maybe someone has ended yes. or stopped senior for the time being, senior 4, yes. or someone diploma, is a certificate, diploma,
university.
You know, undergraduate, postgraduate, PhD holder. We have dons, you know, these are different social classes. Okay. And most importantly is just simply how someone will see things. Then we have age.
Yeah, age
is also important. Last week I think we left it out. Okay. Age is very important. The different
by the terms of age, there's a practice of late where ladies say they can't marry someone who is their age mate.
It's not even advised. It's not a good thing to marry someone who has 4 years less, 4 years and below for a woman.
Then how do you justify the fact that people date each other when they're in the same class?
In the same class?
Even at the university?
Dating, when we look at it in reality, most of the time today as we're looking at dating, people who are dating are not truly serious.
They are not serious about
that.
Marriage.
Is why I think we even bring this kind of program to kind of bring highlights and bring some sort of guidelines.
So when if you're in any dating kind of relationship, kindly stop it because it's supposed to
be a very important part of the journey.
Actually, you always call it intentional, and it should be intentional towards marriage. Not eating money.
Not eating. Okay, I have no problem with people eating money. I usually have no problem with eating money, but the niyyah, that is the very important thing. The intention of us.
If you're out there dating, you're in the same year at university, you're at senior 6 vacancies, according to our guests here, you have no business.
Actually, usually it doesn't give us any results. When a senior 4 is playing around with a senior 6, it doesn't really work out most of the time. But these are things that
you've said discuss. At least 4 years age difference.
4 years. Actually, recently they have moved with. I don't know if I have my book around. I have a doctor friend who was explaining why the age difference is between important. A man and a woman is biological. It is scientific. If you don't take care of it, that is why we have complaints of women growing older than their husbands, even when they are 3 years older than them, and such things. And these are also important things in marriage. Nobody wants to have a wife who is torn apart.
Yes.
We want someone to continue escorting you for a while. The other important thing is
the social class,
the politics. Because sometimes we have people who are coming from political backgrounds. We have people who are coming from Idi Amin's family. People who I remember when I was young.
Yes, please.
Many of my relatives' marriages, the females, did not work out very well because the girls were coming from a strong political family, and whenever a husband would kind of bring in the authority or something, someone would be like, me, a minister's daughter. A minister's daughter. So this did not help the marriage.
Actually, when you talk about that, it also reminds me, there is some Turkish soap of late that is so common on the televisions. But one of the princesses, that is the sister to the king, gets married to one who was one of the, we call them army officers of, for example,
the guards or the security people.
But every time the princess keeps telling this guy that much as you're my husband, but you're a slave here,
it's an important thing. It's so funny how these things get into people's DNA, someone's blood, and someone says something coming so deeply. Yet it is something they found here.
To them, it is whatever you do, much as I'm your wife. But
even here in Buganda, even a poor, because these clans kind of have the rich people, and then we have poor princes and princesses. But a Mumbeja here in Buganda, my dear, is a Mumbeja. So you Mokopi will not just keep coming, come and just jump into the palace or something like that.
Politics.
So the politics is very important. The finances are very important. Though finances usually are a bit, a bit relaxed. Because today you're poor, tomorrow you've made it, and the two of us can change that status quo. And then lastly, culture again comes in, and then faith, the what we believe in is part of our social class.
Actually, it also reminds me, as you expand on there, because the faith and the culture we saw it in detail.
We talked about it.
Then the faith, I think we shall be seeing it ahead. But of late, there's also a lot of craze of football teams supporting Manchester, Arsenal. So should somebody take into consideration that this one is supporting Arsenal and this is Man U?
To some people, it is something very important. Someone will break a TV screen. Someone will hit the children. Someone will not come back home.
My soccer team has lost, and you're telling me things to do.
Yes, someone will come in and will not say anything and will stay very quiet and very annoyed and very. So to some people, it is quite important. So we don't want to take these things for granted. I think that is what is very important. You have to be very sensitive to what this person represents. Very, very sensitive. You don't, actually the Baganda say, you don't fold a finger in front of a lame person. You have to be very sensitive whenever you're bringing in conversations.
So all this information should come out well in the courtship process, because we're not talking about dating, it is courtship.
Courtship,
so what football team do you support? What political inclination you have? All that
to the extent you have to come out clearly that me, I'm not a sports person, maybe I'm not a soccer person. So this person knows that the person that I have is not so interested. So he doesn't bring in the kajanja.
Wow. So as we're going for the break, is there any good in someone, a pauper getting married to a princess?
Oh, definitely.
Professor looking for a senior for dropout. Actually, usually, let me make it the other way around. A senior for man looking for a professor, lady at Makerere. Is there any good?
Abnormal.
It is abnormal, but
it happens,
they say love is blind.
It's not very common.
Actually, there's a lady I know. For she always boss. She's a doctor, and she says her husband's in senior funds. She's very okay with it. And when she goes home, she kneels down, she washes the utensils.
But you know, in psychology, when you oversing something, it might connotate certain things. But
anyway, is there any good as we are going for the break?
Good.
Yes. So what good can I look out for when I aim higher? Because it's not bad to be ambitious.
Because you know, most of us do not choose where we are coming from.
Yeah, I know.
We don't choose where we're coming from. Actually, there are many quotes that help us, you know, motivate ourselves. For example, it is not okay. It's not your choice to be born from a poor family. But it is not okay for you to die poor, for example. And we all probably have been on the high ends of life and then on the low ends of life. But what we know, experience in these social classes, the exposure, you know, the things that we come into interaction, the people we know and the people we do not know. When it comes to education, the things you understand are so you know, important and so separate from the person who has not gone to school. So whenever someone, you know, I don't fall in love, but people say they fall in love.
Whenever what do you do? If you don't fall in love, what happens?
I give love. I don't fall in love. You know, people have those things, but I don't know. But when I connect with someone, for example,
yes, please.
I am coming from the Kachama family,
which is one of those big families.
Yes, big families. And today I'm married to a gentleman coming from the village, Bukomansi.
Yes.
And somehow, actually, in the begining, his family was a bit hesitant.
How do we go for?
They were a bit
remind us,
skeptical.
you said you passed through Nabisunsa.
Yes.
And then
I went to Makerere University.
So it had challenges, I think.
Yeah, so the family, when they were informed that I'm marrying from, my husband is marrying from my family, they were, actually, let's first take, this is a very good example. When my husband said that he's going to marry me, His family said that you cannot manage the kachamas. Do you even know what you're talking about?
Do
Do you even know what you're talking about? Because some of the elder brothers had interacted with some of my uncles in a number of social aspects, not just even not negatively, but there are things that will threaten us. Most of these social things are kind of threats.
Of course they threaten. Yes.
Like fear of the unknown. So somehow they were like,
How
you will not manage those people. They were things
so
that I thought that
your husband's side
family
that
is saying that will you manage. Those people, the education, and there are those connotations that are, well, those are external. Most of them are external,
high class, yes.
External things. But again, it's so funny. When I told my father that I was getting married, he also was not happy. He was not excited. He told me, where are you getting married?
Who is that
I
one
told
that
him
you're
I'm
bringing
getting married
to
to someone. So where does he come from?
Where does he come from?
I told him he comes from Masaka, and my dad comes from Chagwe. For us, we are from Chagwe.
This is
and in Buganda, there are certain things that are tied on certain people from certain regions of Buganda. So people in Masaka, in due respect, people who come from Chagwe believe that all people who come from Masaka are not Baganda.
Allah.
So my father was like, now you want to bring me, and he was not comfortable.
You're taking me across even borders.
Okay.
You're not even,
He was not very comfortable. Now I want to relate to what we are trying to discuss here. That it is so important to be sensitive to what your partner regards important. Because when you bring football to someone, it may not be. But you will find someone who is a football somebody. He will not wake up for tahajjud, but he will wake up to watch a match.
Why not?
That is around that time.
Why not?
You understand? There are people who love weddings or parties or functions, because those are social stuff also.
So outgoing.
So someone is a party person or a function person or a people person, and then for you, you're not so social as an individual. So now we have people who are coming from slums, for example, and due to a number of things, they found themselves down there. Okay? And today, as we are in Kololo High, or one of the middle schools, I interact with this boy, and this boy has certain good things on him.
Yes.
Okay? And then we make a commitment. That gentleman, interacting with me, who is coming from Kololo. I want to take the Kololo side. I don't want to take the Katanga side.
No.
So there are things that I come with, the knowledge that I have, the exposure that I have, the connections that I have, the way I handle things. Even, I could, because for example, simple things like knowing how to use a machine,
cutlery set,
cutlery set, the dress code, knowing how to move into into the escalator or the lift. There are certain things that someone who is exposed will come with. Us having a certain connection, I'll be helping this person of the other social class get this knowledge.
Get the knowledge.
All right.
Okay, Hajat, we shall start from the knowledge bit of it. Dear viewer, we are looking at the good that we get in marrying from people of different social classes, and we have ended on a note that if you marry from a different social class, there's exposure, the knowledge you get, and everything. So inshallah, after the break, we'll be continuing from there, inshallah.
Eno ye Salam TV.
Explore, enjoy, and dance to the latest content, beats, and kawozi from Uganda and beyond. Simply go to your Play Store or App Store right now, find Afro Mobile, download it straight to your phone, and get started. Is it TV you want? Simply open the app, click on TV, select the channel you want, and watch live. Are you busy right now? Then check out On Demand or enjoy in your free time. Afro Mobile. The future is now.
Now, many of us would prefer to use the Kavera when going for shopping or buying whatever stuff you usually buy for home or for your children or for whatever. Now, I would like to advise you. I think it's much better to keep our environment safe by using paper bags or cloth bags. Those are much safer because when we use the Kavera, you throw it around, it could block our drainage, and you know in Kampala what happens when it rains. There's a lot of blockages, and usually that causes a lot of problems in terms of water all over the city. So, Tasso Butondi.
This message is brought to you by National Environment Management Authority, Kampala Capital City Authority, Vivo Energy, Airco, Pepsi, Stanbic Bank, and NBS TV.
Eno ye Salam TV.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah wa salatu wassalam ala rasulillah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Dear viewer, welcome you from that short break. This is the Alhidaayah show that comes to you every Thursday 3 to 4 o'clock. My name is Muhammad Sekalala, and the show is called Alhidaayah, where we look at matters that affect and touch on our lives, especially marriage and family. So we are talking to the viewers who are not yet in the marriage institution, and those who are there already. Perhaps they will give testimony whether what good that we are trying to dissect in the marriages that across social classes, high class versus low class, professor versus senior for graduate. I don't have to call them dropout because that's where Allah has enabled them to reach.
But they're not graduates as well.
They're also not graduates. Okay, inshallah we. But is there any good in marrying? I don't want to say a pauper marrying a queen. I mean a princess, because today we have a few kingdoms around, but those they are there. But we are looking at social class. This person is so high class. He's always in the salon. He's goes to big events. He's always in the hotels. And for me, I'm always in the Toninyira. Can I stand on my 2 feet and say, mashallah, yes, this is the one? And then, if I'm to say, yes, this person is the right for me, what good do we expect from that marriage? Number one, our host has told us that we get exposure. There are things you've grown up not knowing, not seeing, but because you get married to this high-end person, you end up getting this. Actually, even the high-end can also learn something from the low-end person, if we are to say that.
Yeah, the truth is, if people appreciated the differences between the two of them.
The two of them, yes.
Not actually like putting over negative distinctions,
Yes.
but just appreciating that Muhammad is different from me.
From me.
And then you start, enjoying the difference. Actually, we tell people that the more different we are,
the more interesting.
The more interesting it is.
Marriage.
Actually, in marriage, when you start being the same,
and you're so perfect that
like when you start appreciating the same things, and eventually either you become some sort of like a brother and sister.
Yes, please.
And that excitement, or the chemistry will die. But the differences are very, very hard. That is why Allah adds a woman and a man. Because they totally come in very, very different.
With different traits.
But when I come in from Kololo, and my husband is coming in from Chikoni, the truth is we have grown up seeing so many different
things, yes.
We have grown up with different people. We have survived different challenges, and the two of us are supposed to exchange information.
Complement one another.
We are supposed to complement one another. We are supposed to upgrade each other.
Actually, what is interesting, the person at Kololo, for them, the food they they know is one that's on the dining. For me in Chikoni Katanga, the food I know is the one that is on the fireplace. Actually, these three, we call them what?
The masigas.
The masigas, these 3 stone cooking fireplace. So you find the person in Chikoni knows from preparation too, but the one in Kololo,
we will always be asking, where is the food?
Where's the food?
Where is the food? I can't find
they
food.
Even
And
don't know
if they can't
how
find
this
food, they will open the fridge and they will find the, you know,
fruits,
the canned things and all
canned
that.
fruit, yes.
But when the 2 of us come in, and we want to caution people out there,
yes, please.
don't ever think that you are better than that other person. The only difference is Allah has placed you in different places, exposed you to different things, and you are coming in, the 2 of you, to marry. Because that is what marriage is all about.
Mashallah.
I bring in, you bring in. You know, I have a sort of understanding of certain things, and you too have a sort of understanding of another thing. Marriage calls for us, whether I'm a professor married to whoever. Someone may be a senior 6 because it shouldn't be too apart as well. It's a caution.
Yes, please.
It should not be too apart.
Too apart.
The social classes are acceptable, but they should not be too apart, because if they are too apart, if it is a professor, you know, telling us that he will take a woman who stopped in senior 2, probably they will never have a meeting point. You will acknowledge that education helps us understand certain things in life. I usually look at people who stopped at diploma or certificate. Actually, I even have some reservations to people who do shortcuts. A person sits senior 4
and then goes for certificate,
they goes for a course,
then diploma,
and
then
some sort of reservations. Because the education system that we have today, when you stop in senior 4 and someone who has gone to senior 6, it's so funny that you're 2 different people.
You're 2 different people.
The way you look at things, your opinion about things, the way you express and, you know, organize your interaction with people. Your ability to execute certain assignments is so different. So we don't want to say that being from another class or the other class is some superiority. It shouldn't give you an advantage or some sort of power to maybe, you know, sabotage, to maybe, you know,
look down upon,
to kind of, we have people who speak with bad language, demeaning language. It should be a point of appreciation that, alhamdulillah, I'm coming from this side. But again, this other person is going to come in with so many beautiful things that you cannot even imagine. When you are telling us that we people who are coming from humble backgrounds, we have learned how to get food from the soil or from the garden. You come and sit down and peel it. You come and, you know, you cover it in a saucepan with, you know, banana, you know, leaves and all that, up to the time the food gets to the plate. And then there is this other girl or boy who just knows that I come
their
and
house
sit.
Helps. Mine is to sit on the dining.
Yes, I come and sit and eat.
They even dress me up.
You understand?
There's a dress code for the dining table.
Exactly. So someone doesn't even know where, for example, avocado comes from, where pineapple.
Actually, let me tell you something funny. Some students were studying science in agriculture at Makerere. Now, in year 2, they are taken to Kabanyoro. But reaching there, they were told, today we are going to look at banana, the banana itself. And this person was saying, excuse me, what is banana? But they have been eating matoke, but they don't know banana.
She doesn't know banana, and her to even appreciate that you know where the banana comes from.
Where does it come from?
So
powerful, yes.
How we put that sucker,
Allah,
that doesn't have any sign of the banana we
fruit
eat.
That we eat.
But it goes into the soil, it grows and gives us
the banana. Yes.
So that exchange of exposure and experience is so beautiful. It is something that we can work on. Whereby you take me to Highland and I take you to Lowland and we enjoy the experience. But you know what? I want to eat mputa.
So you go to the landing site.
You go down there and you sit and they serve you with a plate of mputa and, you know, steamed cassava. And then today you're like cafe javas. And then we go to,
so you move from the low class, you go to the, so all that is exposure that we are getting from there.
Yes, and this is going to give us the social responsibility that we are looking out for in this community. Because if the low class wants to go to the high end, if I move from Chikoni and then I get married to a Kololo person and I want to forget where I'm coming from, because it is still very common.
Yes.
You know, someone is kind of like staging themselves.
Actually, there are those who came from deep in the village and they say, I don't want to know what happens in the village.
Don't even mention where they are coming from.
No. The moment I managed to make it to town, I got this nice looking man or nice looking lady in town, no business with the village.
They don't mention where they're coming from. Some people don't even want to say their parents. Some people don't want to say. We have people who don't even mention their education level.
Of course.
Someone teaching.
Some of us will not mention our schools because how can I say? There's someone who said, I attended over 7 schools. There are those of us who attended 7 schools for primary. Almost every time you are changing a school. Choose one.
Yeah, choose one, because you're supposed to attach yourself to a certain school.
How can I tell this person? You know, if you tell you I went to KCB, sometimes they say Ngo. From the school or the Sunsas, and then for you saying, you know what, my primary had issues.
The name of the school cannot be shortened.
Of course I can't. You wouldn't even, this one is saying go KCB and you're like, man, what is that?
The truth is, the class should not be from the, like negative.
What we call the extremes.
There should be some closeness, or there should be some things that you already connect with. Because if I come from Chagwe, or I come from Longoja, and I'm getting married to a gentleman from Bokoma and Simbi, but we have gone to school, you appreciate that.
Okay.
And we have all got our degrees, so that there's some level of elevation.
Yes, please.
Because yes, he's coming from Masaka, but he wasn't always in Masaka. He was able to catch up with certain things. You know, just like maybe me. And then along the way, a politician even comes from this family again.
From the family again.
You know, then the merger will come in. And then we don't want to forget that the best social class is Islam.
Is Islam, mashallah.
That should be a highlight. That your deen is going to help us forget.
It's going to bridge the gap in the different.
It's going to help us forget that
interests, different. Yes.
And then we are going to come together as Muslims, and then we are also going to build a social, entity of the community. So we have the Sekalalas now also bringing their picture
into
in the society.
Mix,
so the people are like, you want to marry that girl of, isn't she the one who comes from Sekalalas?
Okay, but in the beginning you were.
In the beginning it was like,
so in other words, this inter-social class marriage should help us bridge the.
Either build a better social
if you have
class,
these two extremes, they are going to bring up an offspring that now is going to be acceptable to the rest of the community.
The other thing that is also important, when you marry from a different social class,
yes.
Again, I think it's more of the information. It widens you. It helps you appreciate certain things. You will understand the deficiencies of a certain life.
And also understanding the purpose of life, perhaps even the meaning of life.
Exactly.
The abundances.
When you talk of, I went to school without shoes.
Without shoes.
And then your husband is telling you, are you sure?
Are you sure?
For us, we had shoes were all over and
we even had to change cars every day.
Exactly.
Today we go and Ipsam.
So to me, that is supposed to help us appreciate how Allah can be able to give this person, and then the other person does not know.
So this social class marriage also helps us appreciate Allah's style of.
He's the way he allocates rizq, for example. So the other good that is going to come in here,
the social class marriages.
We are encouraged to do charity. You appreciate that?
First wait on that. Someone one time I was attending a marriage session, and she said, "Please never get married to someone or marry someone because you're helping them." Is it what you're trying to?
No.
So I shouldn't. You say, "Mami, this family is so poorly married from them. I also help them to move out of poverty."
You die of
so what do you mean by charity?
Charity. I want when I'm coming from, for example, a refugee background.
Okay. Yes.
If I'm coming from a humble background, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala today, blesses me.
Yes.
And me and my husband are able to elevate to a certain class.
Oh, you remember the people who
I
are...
should never never forget, you know,
those people
who are
disadvantaged.
in wanting, the disadvantaged, where you're coming from, and you are supposed to help this person who has grown up with nearly everything, with abundance, to appreciate. In me, I want to believe that this even gives somebody some sort of a purpose, like you mentioned.
Yes. You appreciate that life is not about everything all the time.
You give back. The other thing that will come in is you appreciating that you are not the limit or the topmost.
Or you're not the end
of it all, the alpha and omega. Because there are, even when you're in Bukoma and Simbi, there are people who are of the high that side.
Yes.
You appreciate that? Side, so you come here in Kampala and then you meet
somebody. Find you're among the lowest of lowest. Yet in Vokomansim you're the high end.
Exactly. So it will give us a continuous development or a continuous, looking out for growth.
Growth, yes.
If today you stopped in senior 4,
and then you come across this person who's at the university.
Has a degree.
Has a degree.
I want to believe that you shouldn't just pity yourself.
Actually,
Rather, look out for upgrading yourself.
Yeah, actually, I know of a family where the lady was a senior 6 and the man was a degree holder. But in 5 years of marriage, the lady had also got a degree and even a master's. Yes.
I know somebody who stopped in senior 4.
Senior 4.
And when I was a student, that lady came after she had around 5 children. But she came and sat senior 4. And she came and put on the uniform for 5 and 6. And she went ahead and did education at university. But that was after her child, one of her children, the oldest, reaching senior 4.
Imagine.
So
challenging mommy, but what class did you stop in? Senior
and she used
4.
to put very smart in a green skirt and a white blouse. So whatever the class is.
So now this social class should help spark change, inspire those that think they're in the low category to also
to help you appreciate the better parts of it, the better parts of the society, the higher levels of acquisition. If, for example, if my father loved the Volkswagen.
Yes.
We used to call it Beetle. He loved those Beetles and the Camrys. Now, when I get married to a man
whose highest property is a bicycle, for example.
That is the other. I wanted to bring in now someone who was exposed to maybe BMW or Jaguar or the other side of cars.
Lamborghini, those are the terminologies.
He loves following cars.
Yes.
You will appreciate that life does not stop at the Beetle. Or life will not stop at the border.
Or the Lamborghini.
Or life does not stop at the bicycle. You sit with your person and you're like, hey, you want to say there is a car that
is better than this?
I thought that having a motorcycle at home is like
it's like you're the richest person in the whole community.
So the social classes are not permanent. We shall appreciate
that.
They are not permanent, but they give us areas of going to growing,
to appreciate,
areas of because if you are coming from a farmer family,
yes please,
okay, and your husband's dad is a doctor, for example, or an engineer.
Yes.
There are certain things that you appreciate as a farmer's daughter. No matter what. The father would have maybe was a rich farmer.
Yes, please.
You appreciate that. And my engineer father is maybe middle income.
Middle income, yes.
But me coming from a farmer's family.
Yes, please.
And you coming from maybe a garage. You appreciate that we appreciate different things. Probably for you, you will not get mad when oil is on a shirt.
On a shirt, yes.
When gumboots are stepped in a clean floor.
Clean floor in the sitting room.
You appreciate. Yet for us farmers, someone washes their feet just where the garden ends. The minute you get out of the garden, you wash your feet, yet you didn't have shoes.
Allah.
Do you appreciate that?
I do that, yes.
So someone knows that after work we wash ourselves and then we go into another engagement. And then we have people who will walk into the home with dirty boots, overalls are dirty, everything, and it's normal.
It's normal to them.
So the social classes are supposed to enhance our relationships, but they might cause conflict. That we shall see later on. But they are supposed to enhance the fact that you know something different from your partner.
From your partner.
Actually, I usually tell people that the married, for example.
Yes, please.
How do you even run out of conversation?
In other words, I can tell you all the things I experienced in childhood.
Stories that we can
tell
each other.
Tell them I've been to 10 districts, but all that was daddy moving
around from from office to the other office. But we have shaitan coming into
and then making all of you as if you don't have stories. You're so quiet. But nowadays have the challenge of social media. You find the wife is on the phone, the kids,
and the husband is on the phone, and then the children are on the phone. Yet we have a lot of things that we can share.
These things.
We have a lot of things that we can experience together. You know, at the end of the day, I'll take. We shall choose to ride to your side, and then we shall choose to go to have Eid on the other side, and then for us in our village, we have a hill, a mountain.
We need to go and see it this time.
And Eid we are going to Mount Elgon, and then so the differences that Allah has put on us,
yes, please,
and the ones that we find as we live this life, they are supposed to enhance and make our relationships better, make them very interesting. They're supposed to give us a lot of knowledge. Sitting your children down and you tell them how you went to school. You tell them how you were able, you share. It's parents escaped from school, and they're putting on armors of.
I used to escape. We used to have some escape route in the school.
Hole behind the sick bay. That happened, by the way. It is a real story. Though I didn't use that hole. But those stories are very, very important.
Oh, wow. Mashallah. Thank you very much. So, viewer, we are trying to dissect on what goods that can come to you when you marry a person of a different social class. And as you can see, it is a lot that we can expect. But Hajat, as we are winding up, there's something I hinted on of, can't I marry this person as a way of helping them to move out from that miserable situation? Or can't I get married to someone? I'm this lady from Kororo, and then this boy, okay, you said there should be 4 years. I'm in 4th year. Gentleman, and there's this lady in 1st year. She's struggling with tuition, blah blah blah, and daddy can pay tuition for her, and we get married. Can't I get married or marry somebody as a way of helping them because we want to bridge the gap in social class? In 2 minutes, as we're winding up.
Someone asked her husband.
Yes.
One time, because he was bringing that a kind of the similar argument
that I helped you,
that we need to marry second wives so that we can help women get married.
Yes.
And the wife asked him that who told you that you are a charitable organization? Marriage is not bought.
It's not bought.
Love is not bought. Most of the
but generally, this person has a man. In Islam, they say when you do something, God, Allah rewards. I want to help. This lady, she's struggling with tuition, honestly.
I usually...
The only way I could help out that is marrying her.
No, marriage is not something that we sell.
It's not something
we don't buy marriage, we don't sell marriage. Marriage is a need, between two people. We need marriage. You as a man, you need marriage. I need marriage. Now, if you hide behind something,
helping,
the minute I'm done with my degree, I'll disappear.
Actually, you're right, because of late there's a social media post that is trending. This lady says, this guy got me from 6, paid my tuition up to masters, but he's a lorry driver. Now he's no longer my class. What should I do? And the comments people are giving, I say,
and that girl is correct. She's very correct, because
this guy is the lorry driver, but she's no longer my class. He has paid for me all the way from senior side.
She's very correct. I don't know. Why don't you go to one orphanage and you pay school fees? Because there are people who need school fees, not your wife to be, because that is a very bad conditioning your marriage into you can never reverse that. And where you're exposing this girl to gentlemen who are putting on suits and all that, and then for you coming in with your dad, like you mentioned. But to
me, driver, moreover, come to university to check on his wife to be.
You bring your lorry. I've seen certain things that maybe we can't mention here, but my conclusion to me is when we are courting or dating, we don't invest a lot.
We shouldn't invest
we should be very, very cautious, because you are trying to see which kind of person you are taking.
That point is very important.
Invest
so important.
a lot of money in dating. Do not invest a lot of time
in dating.
Don't include so many emotions, like a lot of emotional attachment.
You put all your heart to this,
this
project.
In the, to the extent that people get into sexual engagements, like someone at the end of it all is like a wife. The only thing that is remaining is the nikah. Apart from the nikah not being there, everything is being done. They are doing
things for married people
everything
already.
Even more than what the married. You appreciate. And at the end of the day, when the relationship doesn't work out, this is why we have a lot of bitterness. A lot of people are claiming they are heartbroken. Yes. And you went there and you sold yourself. So when we are looking for people, we are throwing just a stone into the water. And so what is there? So you can.
But it doesn't stop me from going to a cafe Javas and spend.
Oh, yes, that is what I was trying to bring. That once in a while you can go and have a cup of coffee and you have an
not daily,
but not daily.
You have to borrow because you have to make this project worth a while.
That a lot of investment should come in after someone has committed. So you're paying school fees for someone, especially men who have that kind of money that can be given to anybody who is nothing. Go ahead and pay school fees, but don't condition, don't spoil our institution. That you are conditioning that, you know what, when I pay for you, you will marry me. That is a weak man. That is being weak. You pay the school fees, and maybe as the last rejoinder, even people who change faith
because of
marriage, that when you convert to Islam so that I marry you, let this person convert to Islam on their own, willingly, before marriage, and then later on you can commit.
Thank you very much. Dear viewer, time can never be enough to exhaust everything, but we hope with the insights that we give, it should help us to get the inspiration to spark our thinking deeper in how we shall be going about with these topics. I was with Hajat Kacha Mazaitun. Kindly share and like on YouTube. This show can be viewed as a recording on YouTube. Also Facebook, if there are those that passed by Facebook, kindly comment and share with your colleagues. And then please also stand up to be counted. The national census night is this night. Please do not leave home unless you're counted. Till next time, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Won't we die?
Eno ye Salam TV. Adhan ngekutuswako.
Hotel Africana. Come as a guest and leave as a friend.